I wonder what kind of a person it takes for them to like everything a celebrity posts on social media in order to get attention from them. I mean, I certainly am not like that in real life. Come on, celebrities. Notice me. Come on. What is up, everybody? Random Random Man here, bringing you my review for Ingrid Goes West. Now, the plot basically follows our title character, Ingrid, played by Aubrey Plaza, and she's a mentally unstable woman to say the least. After reading a magazine and discovering a social media influencer named Taylor, played by Elizabeth Olsen, Ingrid becomes obsessed, goes through her Instagram, and eventually takes the inheritance that she got from her mom and goes west to LA to stalk Taylor some more. Going into this movie, I was somewhat curious to see the concept be played out on screen, as it involves a stalker obsessed with somebody on social media and goes all the way out far away across the country just to become tight with them. But my interest was bolstered even more to see this film, as it is yet another movie that came out of this year's Sundance Film Festival back in January. With the central lead performance of Ingrid, played by Aubrey Plaza here, I thought she was superb. I already really liked her and thought she was very funny on the TV show Parks and Recreation, yet in this movie, she gives another condescending / sardonic performance, yet it is to much darker depths in Ingrid Goes West. She is essentially a crazy psycho bitch, though there is some sympathy to her character as she's clearly mentally unstable once again, but whatever else she does in the film that's left to be seen, I will not spoil because it does get into pretty twisted areas. Alongside Plaza, in the supporting cast, we also have Elizabeth Olsen as Taylor, that said person that Ingrid does become obsessed with through social media. Olsen does a solid job in this film. Of course, she is Scarlet Witch in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I have seen her before in other movies before she was in the MCU, but I think in this film she does a chipper job in playing this really enthusiastic person who is really tremendous together with Plaza's character. Is really entertaining. Oh my god, we're totally BFFs. We've seen that stuff done before, but seeing Plaza and Olsen bounce off of each other just makes it seem fresh again. O'Shea Jackson Jr., aka Ice Cube Jr., plays the landlord and love interest to Ingrid, and he is a very big enthusiast of Batman, specifically Joel Schumacher's Batman Forever, which adds to a lot of comedy in this film. I really was impressed by him playing his dad in Straight Outta Compton, and in this movie he delivers a comedic performance, and he did borrow a lot of his good looks and charm from his dad, so that definitely does help. Also borrowing those said good looks from their famous actor dad is Wyatt Russell, who is the son of Kurt Russell. I remember Wyatt in 22 Jump Street, and in this movie as Taylor's husband, I think he does a nice job, and the pop art in this movie that he does create is pretty hysterical. We also have Billy Magnuson as the obnoxious brother to Taylor. He plays a bigger role as the film progresses. We even see Pom Klementieff, who you may remember as Mantis from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, in this film as well. Basically, everyone in this movie does strong jobs. The writing in this movie is something that is cleverly put together in being a satire of what it means to be obsessed with social media. This movie is co-written and directed by Matt Spicer. This is his directorial debut, and what a terrific job he does. We quickly get into the mind of Ingrid from the get-go, and we see how cuckoo she is in being obsessed with social media, specifically going through Instagram and liking every picture she sees on there. Like, poof, wow. By the way, my Instagram is at Zitro_Nala if anyone wants to see how uninteresting my life is. What a shameful plug. But anyway, yeah, we see Ingrid really be obsessed and have a huge problem with herself. And then when she discovers Taylor and she goes west out to stalk her some more and eventually becomes BFFs with her, it gets pretty outrageous already, but there's more ridiculous nature to be seen with the film as it goes on, because this movie is flat out hilarious. This and The Big Sick, one of my favorite movies of the year thus far, and another film that came out of Sundance, are easily the funniest movies I have seen thus far. But with Ingrid Goes West, the humor in the film that is added with it, and seeing how this film is a satire for what social media and obsession with social media does to a person, that poignant writing definitely resonated with the rest of the movie, with the dialogue bouncing back and forth between characters, saying stuff like #blessed. This film even won a screenwriting award back at the Sundance Film Festival for how well put together its script is, and I so agree how phenomenally put together this film is writing-wise. A lot of the look and feel of this movie reminded me of the likes of Spring Breakers, except with this movie, what it does is not be a party movie of sorts and it be a endless montage of sorts. What Ingrid Goes West does is tell its story with bare bones and simple nature, but it is really entertaining to see what goes on throughout the rest of the film as we see Ingrid get into more and more and more stuff that she didn't know she would get into in trying to copy this lavish lifestyle. Spicer's direction well times out the humor throughout the entire film, a lot of it being awkward for Ingrid herself, but that leaves us to laugh even more for what she does. I think the editing in this film is well constructed. A lot of the quicker moments in the movie have to do with a lot of stuff from social media being seen on screen, but that's just what kind of movie this film was trying to set itself up to be. The cinematography, the movie is absolutely gorgeous. It's very stunning to see the West Coast presented in a manner like this. Even the opening logo for the movie, Ingrid Goes West, showing up on screen had a very nice neon look to it. This is certainly an independent film that used all of its resources excellently well to show what it needs to on screen. Same thing with the music being integrated with the rest of the movie. The running time for this film even surprised me. This movie is well paced at a little under an hour and 40 minutes, and when the movie was over, I was like, wow, I'm surprised how fast this movie ran, even though I felt like the movie ran longer, but in the best way possible, in that I was in with the movie throughout all of it. Issues I have with this movie are minor, yet they have to do with what I felt were a few too many conveniences getting the plot going along at the fantastic pace that I've previously mentioned. Like, in the way where Ingrid is able to get $62,000 and go west to LA to stalk Taylor, that seemed pretty convenient for the plot. Coincidentally, Ingrid had a mom that passed away from a heart attack, and she left that said huge sum of money for Ingrid, and then other stuff interlaced throughout the rest of the movie that puts Ingrid in not so good situations and she's able to get out of them cleanly, except for the ending, which I'm not going to give away, of course, but this is going to be definitely a much discussed conclusion as to whether or not it was justified to what happened to Ingrid by the end, because this movie at its core is a dark dramedy. This movie is a social commentary on the dangers of being obsessed with social media or being obsessed in general with anybody. It's definitely pretty luminous in what it tries to say, but at the same time, I was really entertained by what this movie was going for. All in all, this movie is a real treat that I had a blast watching throughout. Just seeing the performances, especially the excellent turn from Plaza as this obsessed social media stalker, the writing and direction, the really stunning directorial debut. Another directorial debut I can think off the top of my head that was really good too was Marty Noxon's To the Bone, where that movie was partially based on her own experiences with an eating disorder. But Ingrid Goes West commentates on a completely different subject matter, what with social media obsession once again, using its dark satire elements to utterly hysterical results. I love this film. This is one of my favorite movies of 2017 thus far. Ingrid Goes West is expanding to more theaters nationwide this weekend, at least here in the US. And if you're interested in something different but also sardonic that will leave you laughing, I highly recommend it. My final verdict for Ingrid Goes West is 4.5 out of 5 stars. Thank you all, as always, for watching. Be sure to like this video, comment on what you thought of Ingrid Goes West, subscribe to my channel for more, and I'll catch you on the next movie review.